Hey, what is going on everyone? Welcome to the Bloons TD6 update 22 video. So this is everything you guys need to know about the latest BTD6 update. And guys, we finally have him. The Dartling Gunner is back. A long-awaited tower, which I'm sure everyone is excited about, is finally here, along with tons of new content. So there are two new maps, there's a new Obyn skin, a lot of limited trophy store items, which we're all gonna show off in this video, a lot of new monkey knowledge points, which we're also gonna unlock all of them and show them off. The brand new challenge editor with tons of new changes, a lot of new achievements, plus one hidden achievement, and of course the usual balance changes. Now before we begin, it would be awesome if you guys dropped a thumbs up on the video and make sure to subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna be doing chimps guides for the latest advanced map called X Factor. I'm gonna be doing a video on the latest hidden achievement and tons of content planned for the entire month of December, along with our usual advanced challenges and Friday stingers. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. Now first off, the Dartling Gunner. I'm sure you guys have seen all of the early access videos, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on him, but the way that you unlock him is by getting 500,000 pops, and then he appears as a usable tower with the rest of our military monkeys. Now he has full map coverage, and the upgrades are just a little bit different than the leaks I posted the other day. So a few upgrades have been changed and they have been replaced with new ones, but overall he seemed like a decent tower, maybe even a little overpriced if you ask me for what he does. And the 4th tier top path upgrade, which is the plasma accelerator, might be a little bit problematic for mobile users because the majority of the DPS is concentrated at the spot at which he's aiming, like this. So it might be a little bit problematic for mobile users because if you want to fully use his DPS, you have to like constantly chase around the balloons and micro it. But and another thing is that this upgrade of course cannot pop purple balloons unless you upgrade it to Ray of Doom. So on to my favorite upgrade, which is the Millipath upgrade, and this thing is insane. This thing does so much damage versus Moab class balloons, it's just absurd. It literally melts everything it sees, but it is abysmal versus ceramics, and it performs very poorly, so I guess it's kind of a niche upgrade, but it's a very strong upgrade nonetheless. Plus even has this cool little ability that sends out a lot of rockets and they deal a ton of damage versus everything. The bottom path is this AoE type of balloon destruction, which is called the Bloon Exclusion Zone, and this thing does well versus Moab class balloons as well, but it also does well versus ceramics, and it's kind of an all-around upgrade, right? But the build up on this thing is kind of weird and it's kind of useless until it gets to tier 4 and tier 5, so all of them are expensive but are well worth the money when upgraded. Alright, now moving on to the new maps, we have two new maps. The first one is called Skates, and this one is the winter themed beginner map with a removable object, which are these houses here on the right for $500. A pretty cool looking and easy map, which I think people won't have a problem clearing. The second new map is called X Factor with a removable object in the middle for $2,000. And when we remove this, it allows us to place towers on this platform right here on the top. And the interesting thing about this map is that it is a true advanced map. Like, the balloons are coming out from two directions simultaneously. So for example, round 1 comes from here, so from the top left and the top right, but round 2 comes from the top right and from the bottom right, so they keep rotating in a clockwise direction, right? So this map might be a little bit problematic, especially because the middle part of the map covers the balloons, so they are invulnerable while they're passing below it. You cannot hit them, you cannot even see the balloons when they enter it, and because the tracks keep on rotating, defending this might become harder later on. And so the Spectre and Etienne, I guess, would be great on this map because of their full map coverage, so look out for those towers on Chimps mode. And while we're here, let's check out the Obyn skin. So there's a new Obyn skin called Mountain Guardian, if I'm not mistaken, or Obyn Redfoot, I guess. And this thing is my favorite. This is the favorite Obyn skin out of everything. I think they did a tremendous job on this one. I like it a lot. So let's check out the brambles and the wall of trees, and then we're gonna move on. Next up, the brand new challenge editor, or the challenge browser as they call it. Now this thing got a huge upgrade, and now we can search for challenges by their name or their code. We can sort them by lots of different filters like trending, newest, most liked, casual, expert, and so on. and as well as by the time that they were uploaded, and we can choose to include challenges from older versions as well. Now, after you have completed the challenge, you can give it a like or make it a favorite of yours if you enjoyed it. And I think the best thing to come out of this is that if you're bored, like you did the AC, you did the DC for the day, you can just go to the challenge browser and find the challenge there without having to copy codes from Reddit or Discord, and you can decide easier which ones to play depending on the ratings that the community gave it. Okay, so let's talk about the new monkey knowledge points. So starting off with the military tree, there is this knowledge called flanking maneuvers, which increases the attack speed of the snipers, subs and buccaneers that are set to last by 10%. Now the other three are all targeted for the Dartling Gunners. So the first one is called emergency unlock. So let me just go ahead and buy everything, and then we are gonna show them off in game. So the first one is called emergency unlock, and that's this little red button that you guys see here. So when this thing is clicked, it allows the Dartling Gunner to quickly unlock it. So you need to have it locked first, and then when you click the ability, it unlocks it and it increases its swivel speed by a lot for a very short amount of time. So I'm guessing this will be super useful if you want to leave your Dartling locked onto the track, but as soon as something gets past your defenses, just quickly tap the ability and move him around without having to go into the targeting options and then change it manually. The second one is called Gorgon Storm, and with this knowledge, the Hydro Rocket Storm ability can briefly stun damaged balloons. And this third one is called Cross Streams, which creates a plasma pool in the spot where two Dartling Gunners upgraded to Plasma or Ray of Doom meet each other, and this one does some DPS as well. The new knowledge in the support tree is called First Last Line of Defense, and this one gives us a $150 discount on our first Spike Factory of the game. The new knowledge in the Heroes tree, which we can't show off really, but it's called Monkeys Together Strong, which increases the amount of XP that heroes get by 5% per hero play. So this is going to be very useful in co-op and later on when they release the Monkey Academy Tower, which will allow us to have two heroes on screen. And lastly, the powers upgrade is called Grand Prix Spree, which makes each race entry cost 10% less. So I like this one a lot. I think it's gonna save everyone a lot of monkey money in the long. Alright, so let's get into the limited edition trophy store items. Now, I went ahead and bought everything, so let's show them off. These are kind of Christmas / winter themed items. So we have the Santa hats, which makes all balloons wear these small little hats. And a favorite of mine is this brand new retro tech bot skin, which kinda, powers up when it gets linked to a tower like that. So it looks very cute. We also have the Bobble Mine, which is a skin for the Moab Mine power. As you can see, I laid around some on the ground. And we have another cool looking skin for the Boomerangs projectiles, these candy cane projectiles. And if you guys noticed, we have the Snowman Pet Fusty's little penguin pet, which is roaming around them, and we have the presents placement and upgrade effects like that. Next up, we have the Village Elf pet, which is this little guy that shows up whenever you get a village. We have the Red Nose decal for Moab class balloons. And finally, the balance changes. So as usual, they added more cross-path functionality to some towers and tweaked others. So let's go through most of them real quick, since there aren't any significant changes being made that are going to shape the meta in a different direction. So let's just quickly run through everything. So the Sharpshooter attacks a little bit faster. The Moab Press upgrade is now more expensive by about $200. The Bomb Shooter's base pierce got decreased, but you can get it back by upgrading it to the top pad heavy bombs, plus a little bit of extra tweaks. So the Moab Assassin does 5 more damage to Moab class balloons from his main attack, and the 502 frag damage and pierce got increased by a small amount. So I doubt that anyone is gonna go for a 502 Bloon Crush, because 520 still looks like the better option, but it's a nice thing to have, adding to this cross-path functionality. The Ring of Fire's price got reduced by about $1,000. That's a significant change, and we might see this tower getting more love in the early to mid game on certain maps. The 5th tier Bloon Solver Glue Gunner got cheaper by about $2,000, but the Moab Glue got more expensive by about $200. The Sniper got a cool change where the 420 main Moab now stuns multiple Bloons, so his shrapnel stun Bloons as well, and the 520 cripple Moab shrapnels will now apply the debuff like the initial shot. The Buccaneer's base cost got reduced, but the grape shot cost got increased, so it's kind of the same price, give or take. And then the Pirate Lord's grape shot damage though got increased to 5 with an extra 5 damage on top of that versus ceramic Bloons. The Ace's biggest change is probably the 5th tier Flying Fortress price getting reduced by about $15,000, so this means that this tower is a lot cheaper, is a lot more affordable, and we might even see it on some chimps run on easier maps. And the mortar's accuracy is back to where it was before the previous update, so now it no longer whiffs a lot of his shots, and the 5th tier Pop and Awe got a damage boost versus ceramics, fortified Bloons, Moab class Bloons, and lead Bloons. The Wizard's Wall of Fire begins on a cooldown when it gets purchased, and when sold, the Wall of Fire left on the track will disappear right as the wizard goes away. So this was a functionality or a mechanic that was widely used in races, but now it cannot be abused anymore. As for the Super Monkey, the Robo Monkey's price got reduced by $2,000, and then this guy, the Tech Terror's ability, got its cooldown reduced by 15 seconds, so now it has a 45 seconds cooldown. The Super Storm's Storm or Tornado now spawns small balls of fire which do damage to the Bloons. They are getting knocked back, and the Spike Factory got a cross path rework / change, so if you have the bottom path combined with the middle path, this one is going to increase the lifespan of the spikes, and it's going to give it smarter targeting when you use the abilities. So whenever we use the ability and we have the bottom cross path, it will only throw the spikes on the active tracks, like here for example on Muddy Puddles. The Village's Call to Arms ability now has a reduced cooldown, so it is now 45 seconds. The Bloon Trap gets dropped more often with the faster engineering crosspath, reducing the cooldown of it even further. And Gwen's passive Heat It Up ability's cooldown has been reduced by a lot, so this buff can now achieve 100% uptime on levels 15 and above. So that is it for update 22. This was a huge update, guys. A lot of content and a lot of games to be played, honestly. Lots of challenges, lots of new maps, well, to grind. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the update. I think it's gonna be an awesome one, and we're gonna have a lot of fun on these new maps and playing around with the Dartling Gunner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.